This is the audio recording of the 5th grade student reading The Islands of Paradise by Richard Gula from DepEd's Module English 5, Quarter 3, Module 2, entitled Summarizing Information from Various Text Types, First Edition, 2020, together with the Miski Analysis Explanation.
The Islands of Paradise. The Philippines is a sovereign state in archipelagic.
The student did not read the name of the author, which is actually an important part of reading a passage or a story. Although it was in bold and in bigger font than the rest of the text, she did not read it at all. In the first part of the first sentence, the sound was omitted in the word Philippines, making it sound like Philippine. Archipelagic, on one hand, was mispronounced as archipelagic.
Southeast Asia and is home to an amazing collection of over.
On the other hand, southeast was mispronounced as southeast. Also, the word over was mispronounced as over.
7,640 islands, spanning more than 300.
Continuing with 7,640, which was mispronounced as 7,640. Also, the word spanning was mispronounced as spanning.
Spanning more than 300,000 square kilometers of territory.
The sound was inserted in 300,000, making it 300,000s. As we heard it, kilometers was mispronounced as kilometers.
These islands are divided into 3 regions, namely Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
In the second sentence of the first paragraph, the word this was mispronounced as this, making it sound like the singular this. Divided, however, was mispronounced as divided. In the last part of the sentence, Visayas was mispronounced as Visayas.
Luzon is the largest and the most populous island in.
Moving on with the second paragraph, starting off with the mispronunciation of the word populous, which was sound as pupulus. The sound in the word island was inserted, making it sound like islands.
In the Philippines, which is considered the 15th largest island in the world.
The sound in the word Philippines was omitted, and obviously the student mispronounced it as Philippine.
It is the nation's center for economy and politics, being home.
The learner mispronounced and put the wrong stress in the word economy and mispronounced it as economy. Likewise, the same case happened in the word politics, which was then mispronounced as politics. Also, being was mispronounced as baying.
To the country's big factory and government national offices,
In addition, countries was mispronounced as countries, and the is sound was omitted in the word factories, mispronouncing it as the singular factory. We also heard that the word offices was mispronounced as offices.
including the Malacanang Palace. It is also the home of mountainous terrains.
The learner mispronounced palace as palace. In the last sentence of the second paragraph, the word is was omitted and also was repeated. The learner also mispronounced mountainous as mountainous. Trains was mispronounced as terrains.
Picturesque, volcanoes, numerous lakes, rivers, and plains.
We also noticed that picturesque was mispronounced as picturesque. Instead of volcanoes, the students mispronounced it as balacanos. Lastly, rivers was mispronounced as rivers.
Visayas is the smallest region in terms of land area in the central part.
Moving on with the third paragraph, the sound was omitted in the word terms, pronouncing it as term. Consequently, the sound was then inserted in the word land, pronouncing it as lands.
Central part of archipelago. It is the home to major Philippine religious and
As we may have heard it, the was omitted in the sentence, and the learner put the wrong stress in archipelago and mispronounced it as archipelago. Also, major was mispronounced as major, and she mispronounced Philippine as Philippine.
religious and cultural festivals such as Hati-Hatihan, Dinagyang, Sinulog, Pintadas, and Maskara.
The sound al was omitted in the word cultural, and the learner mispronounced it as kultur. Festivals was mispronounced as festivals, and the learner successfully self-corrected herself, saying such, then afterwards pronouncing it as such.
It is also known for its famous landmarks, such as
The learner moreover mispronounced known as noun and mispronounced famous as famous.
the Chocolate Hills of Bohol, San Juanico Bridge of Leyte, and the islands of Boracay.
We also heard that the learner mispronounced chocolate as chocolate. The learner put the wrong stress on the word Bohol and mispronounced it as Bohol. In addition, the sound was inserted in the word island, making it sound as islands.
Mindanao is the second largest among the three islands in the southernmost part of the Philippines.
Analyzing the next paragraph, among all the reading errors, mispronunciation was the most prominent, starting off with the word among, which was mispronounced and wrongly stressed as amang. In addition to that, southernmost was mispronounced as southernmost. The learner also committed the same error in pronouncing Philippines, mispronouncing it as Philippines.
It is the main contributor to the country's gross domestic product.
Countries was then again mispronounced as countries.
In terms of agriculture, fishing, forestry,
More pronunciation errors have been committed in the last part of this paragraph. As we may have heard it, agriculture was then mispronounced as agriculture. Fishing was mispronounced as fishing, and forestry was mispronounced as forestry. Moreover, the learner omitted etc., which can be read as etc. or and the like.
Mindanao is known to be the home of Philippine eagle and the king of the fruits, which is the durian.
In addition to that, the word known was mispronounced as canoun. In the last part, the learner also omitted the. Committing the same error as earlier, the learner mispronounced the word Philippine to Philippine.
All three islands are defined by their unique location, culture, and custom.
As we examined the last sentence, we heard that the word defined was mispronounced as divine. She also committed a reading error when she mispronounced the word unique as unique, reading it syllable by syllable.
The Philippines is indeed a paradise in its true sense.
In addition to that, the sound in the word Philippines was then again omitted, making it sound like Philippine. Moreover, the learner mispronounced the word true and said true. That concludes the miscue analysis of the informal reading assessment of the 5th grade student. She read The Islands of Paradise by Richard Golan.